Hello, welcome to Logi Pro X Lab 4. In this lab, you will learn to compose a song by using MIDI and audio Apple loops. So, what is Apple loops? Apple loop is a pre-recorded short music or groove from Apple in MIDI or audio format, and it comes along with Apple DAW such as Logic Pro X and GarageBand. The length of the Apple loops is vary. So you will see some of them, it has a 1 bar loop up to 4 bars loop. When compose music with the Apple loops is an art. So that means we need to ensure that combination and the transitions of the loops support each other. There's no any specific formula to compose the music with Apple loop. Basically, you need to do a lot of experiment and try to listen whether between one section to another section is connected to each other, and when you are layering different loops, whether the key signature, the chords, the melody is also matched to one another. So when composing music with Apple loops, the loops will be based on 4, 8, or 16 bars loop. Try to avoid odd bars loop, because the odd bars it will give an impression that the loop is incomplete, and also it has an odd time signature. So remember again, when you compose the music, always stay within 4 bars, 8 bars, or 16 bars. All Apple loops can be shortened, and you can only lengthen the durations just by looping the loop. Next, I'm gonna show demonstrations. I will show to you how to compose the music using the Apple loops. If you take a look on the screen right now, I have listed down all the loops that I'm gonna be using. So we should be like using the same loops, and what you have to do is you just need to search in the Apple loops collections, and once you found it, so you just have to drag and drop. Now in front of me, this is Logic Pro X. So by now you should already familiar with it. You already know how to open Logic Pro X, how to create the sessions. If you didn't recall, you may want to go back again to the previous lab 1. In lab 1, I show how to create a new Logic Pro X sessions. Now, how can we take a look on the Apple loop? So if you see, I bring my mouse here. Over here, it says Apple loops. And I click, then I will have a window open. Now, Apple loops, it has a lot of collections, starting from drums, or maybe synthesizer, piano, electric piano, organ, or any kind of instruments. It's quite good because all instruments itself is already like pre-recorded, and then what you are going to do is you are going to combine all this pre-recorded music, just a small chunk, and to compose a new music on top of it. So if you take a look on the Apple loops list, we divided into 5 sections. So we have drums, we have bass, we have clavi, we have tenor sax, and we have a synthesizer. So if let's say you see over here, okay, if you want to choose the drum, you click on all drums, then Logi will automatically select only the drums, and those that is not drums is gonna be muted. So when you bring your cursor here, these are the list of the drum that is available. So when you click, okay, you can hear the Apple loops will be automatically play. So this way you can try to see, it's like a bit like preview which one that you think is suitable with you, that you want to use it. Now another way, if let's say you want to select any specific genre, for example, you want to have rock blues drums, so you bring the cursor over here. When you click, then Logic will automatically filter out all the groove that is related to the rock and blues. On the list, it says that for the drum, we are going to use two-step thumb beat 1, two-step thumb beat 5, and two-step percussion 02. So I will click over here. This is the search column. Then I will type two-step thumb, okay, beat. Now, better I should have this one. So you can see over here, I have two-step thumb beat 01. So let's click on this one and let's listen. Okay, I think it sounds great. So I would like to use this loop. How can I put this loop inside Logic? It's actually very simple. You just have to click, hold, drag, and drop. You see, when you click, hold, drag, and drop, you will see a small chunk of the loop, and Logic will automatically create the track for that loop. So I release already. And then on top of it, you see a classical electric piano. Basically, we don't really need to use this one, but Logic will automatically create a MIDI track when you create a new Logic Pro session. So I'm going to delete this track. Okay. Now, let's try to listen. Okay, so this loop is actually very short. As you can see, this is bar number 1, this is bar number 2. So basically this is 4 bars, this is a 1 bar loop. Okay, so how can I extend this loop to make it longer? If you bring the cursor over here, then you will see the cursor change from arrow to the loop sign. So I will click and hold. It says loop off, and then I will drag until the end of bar number 4, which is the beginning of bar number 5. Now if I play again, then I will hear the loop will play from bar number 1 to bar number 4. Now next one, we are going to use the two-step thumb beat 05. So two-step thumb beat 05 is over here. Okay, so same thing, I will just drag and drop to Logic Pro X, and Logic will auto create the track for it. Now, if you see here, this loop is actually 2 bars loop. Okay, so we are going to extend this one to more. For this one, we are going to extend until the end of bar number 20. So same thing, I will bring my mouse here, then you will see the cursor will change. I click, hold and drag until the end of bar 20. Okay, now if you see over here, I always use the even number instead of odd. So for this two-step thumb beat 01, it has 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for the two-step thumb beat 05, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, so it's always an even number. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to select the two-step percussion 02. So I will come back here. I will type. Okay, there's a two-step percussion 02. So same thing, I will drag and drop. I'm planning to just use on the same track. If let's say you would like to use it on a different track, is also fine. Okay, what is the benefit of using on the same track and different track? If let's say you use on the same track, whatever adjustment you change on track number 2, the rest of the loop will follow. But if let's say for this loop you want to have more freedom, so you can control, maybe you want to put different level, or maybe you want to put different processing, so I will recommend that you just create a new track. There's no any limitation for Logic to create the tracks. It can create the track as many as possible. It's depending actually based on your computer power. So if your computer have a high power, good RAM, good memory, it can just go as high as possible. So for this example, I will just put it at the same. If let's say you want to experiment to put it on the new track, it is fine. So same thing for this one, I would like to use 4 bars loop. So I will extend this one until the end of bar number 28. Let's put the bass. For the bass, we are going to use the two-step thumb bass 01. Okay, I can find here already. It says two-step thumb bass 01. So same thing. If you, let's say you want to hear, you can just click. So I will drag and drop. Now for this one, I would like to use for 8 bars loop. So we will drag until the end of bar number 12. Next, we want to do a little bit of variations so it sounds more interesting and it's not too monotonous. So the next one, I'm going to use the two-step thumb bass 02. I will just put it on the same track. If let's say again, if you want to put on the new track, it's also fine. And then the length for this sample will be until the end of bar number 20. And finally, the last, I will use the two-step thumb bass 03. Then I will drag it. Okay. Now, you may be asking, how did I know that these are the correct samples? Basically, before this, I've already did a few experiments and I try and I combine, and I try to listen. And so far, all these loop are the one that is really matched to one another. It's really supporting instead of the groove, instead of the melody and the chord as well. Now, if you see on Logic Pro, there's something it says key and also tempo. Basically, this is what Logic means. But again, although it says C here, sometimes the sound that you are hearing, it doesn't really match with the key signature. So I personally will still, besides listen to it, I also will try to see whether it really matches or not. So again, most important in here, when you are working with Apple loops, you always need to listen. Okay, you shouldn't only like see what is written on the key. If the key says C, or definitely all this sample is on the key of C, it should matches. It's not really necessary. Okay, so the best way to identify is to listen. if there's no any clashing of sound, then it should be all right. But if let's say you think it doesn't really match to one another, so you may want to try to find another loop. Let's move on to the clave. So I'm going to find the down tempo fun clave 2. I can click here to cancel everything. So I type down tempo funk clave 02. So it's already show here clave 02. So I bring it and drop it here. Now for this one, I just want to use on certain sections, and you can see over here that actually there's one little note that I think I don't really need it, so I want to shorten it. Now to shorten this one, I bring the cursor here, I click and hold, then I move until these sections, or I can just move until here. So basically, when you move the cursor in Logic Pro X, there are two things that you can do. First of all, you can loop, which is you lengthen the duration of the loop, or you can shorten the duration of the loop. So if you bring here to the top, it will show like this. It means that you are going to lengthen the duration of the loop. But if you bring it down a little bit, it changes to this icon. That means you are going to shorten the duration of the loop. Now, next, I'm going to copy this one. Two ways. You can either like drag and drop one more time from here, or you can just copy. Apple have the function to copy, which is you press the option button, you drag and drop it. So I'm going to bring this to bar number 9. So now I already have basically the duplicate of this one. Is gonna be like perfectly exactly the same. I'm going to put the Latin horn first. So there's a Latin horn step 01. So I will drag and drop. And let's put it here. This is on bar number 6. And then same thing, I'm going to copy the loop as well to bar number 10. So I'll press option button. I will bring my cursor here. I hold it. Then put to bar number 10. Okay, now let's listen first. Okay, you hear there's a one sound that a little bit annoying on the smoky clave. So I will just shorten this a little bit. Then because this is a duplicate of this one, when I move this one, the other one will follow as well. Okay, I think this should be fine. Let's just listen one more time to ensure. Okay, I think it's perfect. It sounds great. So let's move to the next one. So I will click the Latin horn step 07. This is the 07. So let's bring it to bar number 8. Okay, I will create a new track again. Now for this one, I'm going just to use the beginning. So I don't really need to have this long. So I can just shorten it. And then same thing, I'm going to copy this one again. So I press the option button on the keyboard and then drag until bar number 12. Now let's listen. Okay, I think it sounds great. The next one, let's move on to the house fever burning sax. So I delete this one. I type house fever burning sax. Okay, we have this sample. So I'm going to drag and drop it to bar number 13. Okay, now for this one, you will see this message appears. Basically, nothing to worry. It's just want to let you know that this overview cannot be saved. But when you save the Logic Pro X sessions, the sound, the file is still there. Okay, so you just click on OK. And then we are going to loop this one until the end of bar number 20. I'm going to add electric funk synth slide 03. Okay. Okay, this is the loops. So we are going to put this one on bar number 15. Now, if you notice, this loop is 4 bars loop, but I did some variations. So what kind of variations I did? From here, from bar number 15 until bar number 17, actually I just want to use the first half, and then later on when it comes to bar number 19, I would like to use the second half. So what I did is I just shorten this to here, and then I just drag and drop one more time. This time I put on bar number 19. Then I shorten the front. You see, it's very convenient when we use Logic Pro X to do some adjustment, because the file you can always shorten it, and also you can always lengthen it. Finally, for the last one, we are going to use house heat up sax. So I will drag and drop to bar number 21. Okay, nothing to worry for this one. So you just click OK. And then we are going to extend until the end of the song. Now let's listen from the top. You can press the return key on the keyboard. Then it will automatically bring the cursor to the beginning. Let's hear. Okay, so if you notice, there's actually a mistake, because I accidentally put the sample to bar number 21, which is supposed to be to bar number 19. So you may want to do the same thing as well. Okay, now when you do your work, it's always good that you always listen, because you never know, maybe there's a mistake that you accidentally did, as how I demonstrate just now. Okay, so let's listen again from here, bar number 13. Okay, I think it sounds great. So if you're already done with the loop, then you can just close it. You can click here, then you won't be seeing the loop window anymore. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to do some mix. So if you're looking on the screen right now, I have provided for you the mixing level. So what you have to do is you just need to follow. Okay, when we do the mix, basically the first thing we are going to do is to try to balance the level of the entire track. So we do not want to have the track that is too loud, or maybe too soft, because when it is too loud, you may feel annoying. Other people who listen also feel annoyed. But when it is too soft, the people who listen to it, they might not really catch the sound very clear. Okay, so the first thing that you need to remember every time when you are doing the mixing is you try to balance the entire track. This is the most fundamentals. So nothing to worry about doing some EQing or compressions, or even put some effects like reverb or delay. This one we can always do it later on. If the balance is okay, usually in general, the sound should be great. Okay, so how can we show the mixer in Logic? If you bring the cursor over here, it's at the left side of the scissor. It says mixer, then I click, then you should be seeing the mixer window. So the level of each track is already given. So what you are going to do is you are going to follow. Okay, for this track, the two-step remix, let's put it at -6. I type here. After that, I press enter. Okay, and then the next one is the two-step thumb beat. You don't have to bring the cursor here. This is just to show you, so you can have the idea. Then I will type -3. And because the two-step percussion 02 is in the same track with the two-step thumb beat 05, I don't need to do any more adjustment. However, if let's say some of you decided to put the two-step percussion 02 on the new track, then you need to ensure that the level is -3. Okay, for the next one, the step thumb bass 02, this one the level is at -3. And then let's move on to the down tempo. Down tempo funk clave, the level is +1, which is you just type number 1. Okay, the next one is the saxophone, Latin horn steps 01 and 07. This one is -9. Same thing. This one is also -9. And then the house fever burning sax, this is -6 dB. Then the electric funk synth, This is minus 13. And then finally, the house heat up sex is minus 3.5. Now, when you do the mix, you need to ensure that all channels does not have peak, which is the red color, and also the master output is also there's no peak. So you see over here, the master output is always at 0, so we do not want to adjust. This one also another master output. This is basically is like the sub to the stereo. Then from here it will be sent to here. Now let's listen from the top. By right, the sound is already more or less balanced. Okay, I think it sounds great. So if let's say you want to loop the entire song from the beginning to the end, what you can do is you bring the mouse over here. You see these sections, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and etc. You click, then you'll see the orange color appears. This is basically to select from bar number 1 to bar number 4 to be played continuously. So if let's say I want to play from bar number 1 to bar number end of bar number 28, then I just have to click hold and drag this. Now by right, when Logic Pro is playing until the end of bar number 28, it's gonna be automatically play again from bar number 1. So let's try. Okay, you can see that it's actually automatically replay again from the beginning. Okay, I think that's all our lab for today. Remember that you need to export this out to 44.1 and 24 bit or 32 bit.